Hey everyone, my name is Scott Harriman. I'm a trainer here at Great Falls Marketing. Today we're going to go over the Setting Yourself Up for Success training. Whether you've been here for a couple weeks or a couple years, we feel like this training is great to help with any kind of burnout that you might be experiencing. The worst thing you can do in sales is become complacent, which does happen over time to everybody. And when you're new, there's a lot of obstacles that you have to overcome to be successful, to make the money that you want to make. So setting yourself up for success, what we're going to go over today is how to overcome a lot of obstacles when you're new, and also, like I said before, when you've been here for a while, it's easy to forget some of these easy steps to overcome that burnout. So here at Great Falls Marketing, it is a sales job, but we're dealing with a lot of customers that have a lot of health concerns, whether it be pain, inflammation, memory issues, any kind of ailments that they're looking for help with our all natural products. So you have to remember, the customers are calling in on just the product that they're seeing, whether it be a mailer, TV, radio, no matter what it is, they know about the product they're calling in on. However, they don't know about our automatic shipping, our cross-sells, our additional products, and our Buy Club, which is a savings program that follows the initial sale. So hopefully this training will help you kind of overcome those obstacles and kind of help you piece the sales process together and make it easier for you. There's a lot of things that we hear throughout the call when we're new, especially where customers will say, I only want what I called for today, or I know it's your job that you have to offer these other products. If you hear those types of comments throughout the sale, the customer is really feeling like they're not being helped. They feel like they're being sold. So the skill here is to sell the customer what we intend to sell them, and follow the process, of course, but also make them feel like they're being helped. And the best way to do that, number one, is to justify. So you want to justify what you're doing. You want to justify upselling, you want to justify the auto ship, you want to justify the savings program. You want to be able to justify those things. The only way that you're going to be able to not hear these customers say, I know it's your job to do this, and hear those comments, is to be able to justify what you're doing. Because then at the end of the day, it kind of goes back to them that you're doing it because you want to help them rather than try to sell them something. So justify is huge. You definitely want to be able to engage the customer. By engaging the customer, what I mean is listen to them. Give them empathy. The only way that they're going to share things with you is if you're empathetic. You can say things like, "Oh, I wouldn't wish that on anybody." I'm sorry to hear that. Things like that. So, and you also want to let them know where you are throughout the phone call, because when you initially get the credit card, sometimes they think that the call's done, but it's really not, because you have all the additional products and services to offer. So you want to let them know where you are in the phone call as well, and we'll go over that. So justify, engage. You also want to be able to listen, so that kind of goes right along with keeping them engaged. So justify, engage, and listen to the customer. The only way they're going to share things is if you're listening. So you can kind of repeat things like, as you told me earlier, or as you said earlier when I was listening to you. So that'll allow you to justify why you're doing certain things, okay? So these three things: justify, engage, and listen. And doing all these things are going to help you with rapport. Rapport is huge in any kind of sales environment. No matter what you're selling, you need to have good rapport. If you have good rapport, you also have trust. If the customer trusts you, they're going to listen to what you are recommending. If they want to call and get one bottle, but you're recommending more than one, and you're doing it for a reason, they're more apt to buy it rather than just think that you're trying to, take more money from their wallet. So I'll give you an example. Now you can do this whether it be a hard offer or a soft offer. Hard offer, obviously, they know the price, they know the product. Soft offer, they know they don't know the price, but they know the product. Either way, they have a need for the product or they wouldn't be calling in. So I'm going to give you two examples of a hard offer product and a soft offer product. So I like to make these little boxes here to help me kind of simplify things. So let's say, so one of our products here is called, we'll go with AlloCure, okay? Now AlloCure is an all-natural product that helps with digestive issues, memory, joint pain. It has a lot of different benefits to it. And most of the times it's a soft offer where they don't know the price and they're calling in for their free bottle. So the next thing you'd have is your auto ship that you have to pitch. The next one that you'll have is the what's called a probiotic. And you'll learn these products as you're here. And then you have the Veriflex. Then you have your shipping and handling. Then you have your confirmation. And then you have your club. So this is where you make most of your money, right here. The goal is to make it through this full phone call, keeping the rapport high and the customer's frustrations low. Really, getting around those obstacles I mentioned before. I know it's your job to do this. Are we done yet? I know you have to sell me this. I only want the product that I called in for. So you're going to hear those things throughout the way. The way to minimize that is to do, the words I mentioned on the right. So that's a soft offer product. This one is a hard offer product. This one is called, we'll go with GSH3. Hard offer product, kind of like the AlloCure where it helps with a lot of different things, inflammation, blood circulation, things like that. Then you have your auto ship. Then you have a what's called a botanic superfood. And then you have a joint pain cream. Okay, and then of course you have the shipping and handling, you have the confirmation, and then you have the club. Again, most of your money here. This call is going to be a lot faster because they know the price. You're not making as much money off this particular call because it is priced. The real skill on this call is upselling and cross-selling, obviously. The real skill on this call, the soft offer, is getting the initial sale and then maximizing the sale throughout the call. So either way, whether it be hard offer or soft offer, you're going to ask some questions, okay? The main question that I ask, or there's two main questions that I ask on every single phone call, whether it be priced or unpriced. These two questions, they hold a lot of value because I can obtain so many different things. They're going to help me throughout the call with a lot of what I'm going to do for the customer. So the first one is, I ask them, are you a senior? Excuse my penmanship. Senior, are you a senior? If you don't mind me asking. Okay, are you a senior if you don't mind me asking? Quick question. And most of the people that we talk to every day that call in, they are seniors, so it's 9 out of 10 they're going to say yes. A lot of time they give you an answer. Okay, they'll give you a specific number. And then the other question is this going to be for just you or someone else as well? So even if it's an upfront tough greeting where they're like, hey, I want the price, or is it free, or something like that, that question, is this going to be for you or somebody else as well? It implies that there might be a special deal if it's for more than one person. Are you a senior if you don't mind me asking? It implies that there's going to be a senior deal, which you could do. You can give them a senior deal. You could say, hey, let's say with AlloCure, it doesn't advertise free shipping. So you can say, well, because you mentioned you're a senior, what I'll do for you is I'll give you free shipping. You have to remember everything you do that you're doing throughout the call is for the customer. The only way that you can do that is if, again, you justify. And the only way you can justify is if you get information from the customer in the beginning of the phone call, okay? So with the AlloCure, where it helps with so many things, you know, the initial question is going to be, you know, so I'm glad you called in today. So let me ask you, is there something specific that you want the AlloCure to help you with? So they're going to give you a specific need, all right? Which, let's say it's digestive issues, okay? They have digestive issues. Okay? Now, you know, I mean, you're going to know how it helps with digestive issues. So you're all set there. You got them locked in for the AlloCure. You can explain to them how it's going to help them with their digestive issues. The other things, the AutoShip, the probiotic, the Veriflex, the club, those are the services that you need to find information on, okay? And again, you're going to take a little bit longer on this phone call because it's a soft offer call. You need more ammunition. So the next question might be, you know, how long have you been suffering? That's a typical question, right? And keyword there is suffering. They're going to give you a specific amount of time. Maybe they say 5 years, okay? Now, let's say, you know, you can also ask them, you know, is it just acid reflux heartburn, or is it you experiencing anything else as far as, you know, maybe some constipation? But yes, I'm also dealing with IBS. That's a common answer they'll give you. IBS is irritable bowel syndrome. So with them telling me that they've been dealing with it for a long time, 5 years is quite a long time, and that they have IBS, this 5 years is going to allow me to, you know, recommend. We talked earlier about, you know, trusting and them trusting you and recommending things. Recommending more than what they just called in for. Because if they just want one bottle, it lasts 30 days. You know, it could happen where they're going to get relief within 30 days. But I mean, you're talking about 5 years worth of digestive, you know, issues. It's probably going to take a little bit longer. So that could right there could help you upsell, okay, and justify upselling. The IBS you can always tie to the probiotic. You know, I always tell the customers on this call that the digestive system is kind of like an assembly line. You have your throat, your belly, and your intestines. So the AlloCure is going to help with the upper part, we'll say from the belt up, and the probiotic is going to help from the belt down. So this all works together, okay? But now I'm confident that I can justify the probiotic just by them giving me that answer, all right? Now, I'm going to throw in here somewhere, so if you don't mind me asking, are you a senior? Let's say they say I'm 85, okay? Especially with everything going on right now with the virus and everything, you know, you want to talk about at 85, you want to keep your immune system, you know, is running as properly as you can. So this can tie to the Veriflex, okay? So just out of this right here, it's only been a couple minutes I've talked to them. You know, obviously I've shown some empathy, and right now I'm just kind of shortcutting the process as far as needs and empathy and stuff like that. You also want to trickle in some confidence statements, like you called the right place. You know, you're making a good decision today. You know, things like that. I'm glad you called. I can't wait to hear your testimonial. Those are some good confidence statements to give them confidence to make the decision to buy today, okay? So right now, there's going to be some other things I ask, but just for time purposes, I have enough information that I can confidently go through this phone call without the customer getting upset, telling me that I have to offer these things, telling me that it's my job to do these things. Because I'm going to, oh, there's one more question I'm going to ask, like I mentioned. Is this going to be for just you or somebody else? If this person says it's for me and my wife, this is going to allow me to upsell, okay? So the main offer on this product is 6 months supply, buy 3, get 3 free. So they have no clue what the price is, they think it's free. But saying, hey, when I was listening to you, you mentioned it's for you and your wife, so what I'll do for you, again, do for you, is when you buy 3 for yourself, I'll give you 3 for free. So that'll give you, it's a 90-day guarantee, a 90-day trial. So that'll give you each enough for the full 90-day trial period. I'll give you free shipping, and I'll go ahead and do that for you, okay? And then you close. Now they're not scratching their head why I'm trying to sell them the biggest package. It makes sense because I have the information so I can justify, okay? Now, let's say they want to go with the 3-month supply, which is the next one down. That is going to open up the AutoShip for me. Most people, if they don't go with the main package, it's because they can't afford it. They're on a budget. They're on, you know, Social Security, something like that. So once I get their information and I close them, let's say I close them on the 3-month supply, I get their credit card information, I get their address. Right here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give them the customer support number. Okay? The customer support number is for questions or concerns throughout the trial. Yes, they can call and and cancel. Yes, they can call and get a refund. But you want to be positive. This is customer support. Customers are calling and they want to feel supported. So you give them the customer support number here. Have them write it down. Having them write stuff down throughout the phone call is going to keep them engaged, and it's going to kind of move. You're going to be able to move through your call a lot quicker, and it gives them ownership of that. Because when you pitch this auto ship, a lot of times their objection is because they don't want to call back and cancel. But if you already proactively give them this customer support number, then they have it. They have their out if they want to cancel or customize their shipments. Okay, that'll help you a lot with your auto ship. Then moving forward, I'm going to say to you, hey customer, you mentioned earlier that you're suffering from IBS as well. So the allocator, what it's going to do, so with the cross-sells, you just have to explain to them what it's going to do, the cost of it, and then close. So there's probably going to be a big paragraph here about probiotics, which again, I'm not going to take, I'm not going to read this whole paragraph. I'm going to give them a benefit, tie it to the customer, and close, and give them the price, of course. So once I get here and I say, hey, customer, I was listening to you, you said you're also dealing with the IBS. So what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to give you a probiotic enzyme blend. What this is going to do, and you're going to take this right along with the Alicure, is you're going to want to separate these cross-sells from the main offer, because another thing they'll say is, well, why do I need to take these things if this is going to help me with that? And that happens a lot. So when you pitch this, you want to be able to separate the two. So what I'm going to say is, you're going to take this with the Alicure. You can give them a specific amount of time, 90 days, 30 days, whatever. You probably want to start with more than one. And this is going to help with the IBS, like the Alicure is going to help with the beginning of that digestive tract and that assembly line. This is going to help with the back end. Now, right now it's on promotion. I can get you 3 bottles for $59.90, and I'll give you free shipping on that as well. It comes with the same guarantee. Okay? Close. If they say no, again, it's probably the price. If it's the price, it's every time they say no because of the price, it's only building you more, more justification for the buy club. Okay? So now I'm going to drop down and say, all right, I understand that. Let's say they said it was the price, they can't afford it. What I'll do is I'll just give you one for you to try. It'll be on a discount. It'll be $39.95 or $29.95, whatever it is, and I'll still give you free shipping. That way you can try it. Okay? If they say no, okay, I'm moving on. The next product is the Veriflex. Now, in between these two cross-sells, there's something I say, and this is about keeping the customer engaged, because a lot of times right here, they're fed up and they're going to say, hey, this is where you're going to hear, I just want what I called for today. Hey, I got to go. Somebody's at the door. Whatever excuse they want to use. Okay. So by saying this statement in between the two cross-sells, it's going to let them bite their tongue for a minute, especially if you have good rapport. So you can pitch your second cross-sell and then move on. Because if you don't say the statement right here, then they don't know when you're going to stop pitching and pitching and pitching. So it's just as uncomfortable for them to say it as it is for you to hear it. So this statement that I say usually prevents that from happening. So before I pitch a second cross-sell, I'm going to say, this is the last product that I'm going to let you take advantage of. Take advantage of. Okay, and then you want to try to have that because, that justification. All right. So notice I didn't say the word offer. You try not to say the word offer. Okay. Take advantage of. The only way I can let them take advantage of it is if I can justify and have a need. It's hard to let someone take advantage of something if they don't need it, right? So I'm going to say, hey customer, this is the last product I'm going to let you take advantage of. This is called Veriflex. And what it does is, you mentioned earlier when I was listening to you that you're 85. So what this is going to do for you is going to keep that immune system running in tip-top shape. we recommend, taking it for at least the first 30 days so you can try it. It's one of our newer products. So I'm able to give you a great discount on it, but I can only give you one at this price. So when you say I can only give you one at this price, what it does is it creates urgency, okay? And it's new. A lot of people want to try something new. So, mention, hey, I can give you one, it's only $29.95 today, okay? Majority of the customers, especially this one's gonna say I can't afford it. Okay, I can understand that, maybe next time. I'm moving on, all right? So now I'm gonna talk about shipping and handling. So now I'm gonna say, all right, customer, we're gonna go over shipping and handling for you. Now, regular shipping is, 7 to 10 business days, but if you like, I could rush it for, $9.95, get it to you in 3 to 5 business days. And they say, no, regular shipping's fine. That's fine. A lot of times I say, I don't blame you. A lot of people get it quicker anyway. You don't have to rebut the shipping and handling. And a lot of times they're expecting you to rebut the shipping and handling, so it kind of helps with a little bit of rapport that you're agreeing with them. Now you're going to talk about the confirmation. All right, so customer, we're going to go over the confirmation of your order. Grab your pen again. I'm going to give you the number for your order confirmation number. So you're going to follow what it says there on your script. But when you give the order number, you want to have them write that down. When it's charged to the card today, you want to have them write down how it's charged. Maybe you can't see that, but you're going to say order number. This is how it's going to be charged. It's going to show up as Alacare on the card. A lot of customers, they appreciate that. Also, you're going to repeat the customer support number. You're going to give them their total, which is important. You're going to have them write that down as well. So now what they're doing is you're building a nice little receipt. So the last thing you're going to ask for on this phone call is the last 4 digits of their card so that they can, confirm the order and approve the order. Now, once they get the last 4, before you get the last 4 digits, say, you know what, here's your total. Also, write my name down so you know who helped you today. Testimonials are the best part of my job. So think about that conviction that you're building when you're volunteering your name, and sometimes I'll even give my representative number. It's trust. It's you're putting your information out there. You want to hear back from them. It's creating conviction. So then I'm going to ask for the last 4 digits of their card number. They're going to give me the last 4 digits. As soon as they give me those last 4 digits, I'm going to say, hey, you know what? When I was listening to you, you mentioned you and your wife are on a budget, Social Security, whatever it is. I'm justifying my club. And then I'm going to say, so what I'm going to do for you, again, what I'm going to do for you is I'd like to send you out a $20 cashback rebate for today's order, which, yeah, they're excited about that, and a voucher for a free $40 gift card you can claim. And usually I'll say you can use that for gas or groceries with a 14-day free trial membership from Value Plus. Write this down. It's separate from your order, and it's free for the first 14 days. So I'm going to have them write it down. I'm just going to start spelling it. V-A-L. So number one, they're like, all right, this guy's listening to me. It's not like he has to do this. He's having me write it down so I don't forget, which is another common objection. So you're overcoming that objection before it even happens. They're not going to say they're going to forget if you already have them write down. And if you've been having them write things down throughout the full call, it's just routine to them to continue to write stuff down. Okay? So if any part of this phone call, someone tells me I'm trying to sell them something, if a customer says you're just trying to sell me, you can rewind this phone call and say, I was just listening to you. It's almost like you have 50 different products behind you, but I only pulled the 2 off the shelf that you told me you could benefit from. You told me you had the IBS, this is what this is going to help you with. You told me you guys that you're seniors, so you want to keep your immune system as up to speed as you can. So here's the Veriflex. It helps you with the Aloe, obviously. With the auto ship, I'm going to make sure that you get it at the best price for as long as you want to continue, and I'll make sure you never pay shipping. And then also, you're a senior, so what are you spending your money on? Gas, groceries, utilities. That's what this program's all about. So everything I've done throughout this phone call, I'm helping rather than selling. So at the end of the day, when you're exhausted, you took a billion phone calls, you've heard a lot of objections, you've thrown in a lot of rebuttals, you have more customers thanking you for your instead of thanking the customer for their order, they're thanking you for the help. And that's how it should be. If you're justifying it, when I get off the phone call, before I get off the phone call, I say, hey, I'm glad I could help you and help's on the way. That means that I help them, right? What are they doing for me? Yeah, they're buying something from me, but this is an inbound call center. We're not bugging people and calling them for things that they don't need. These are things that they do need to help them get back to optimum health again. Okay, that's what they're calling in for. So if you do these things, it's really going to help you throughout the phone call with your confidence. And I mean, this is kind of a looking at it from a higher view, but when you really drill down, there's a lot of work to be done here. This is not an easy job. You have to know your benefits of the probiotic. You have to know what it is. So if they say, I'm already taking one, why is this one different? You got to know that. This Veriflex, you got to understand what it does and the ingredients. You know, there's a difference between being a salesperson and being a product expert, okay? A product expert knows what they're selling. You know, they also know their competition. You know, because there's some other medications out there that help with digestive issues, you know, that have some side effects and things like that. But a lot of these customers, they're already on those things. They're trying to get off those a lot of times. And they have the doctor to go to, but it's not helping. So they're going to you for help, and you have to help them. So, you know, quickly just to go through this is a hard offer, so they know the price. You can go through this a lot quicker. You know, yes, there's not going to be a lot of questions asked here. There's not a lot of time for that. But I can still ask these two questions. Are you a senior? Yes, I'm 85. If they say yes, I'm 85, that's going to help me with the Botanic Superfoods. Botanic Superfoods, you can tailor that to their immune system. So same thing. And they say, yes, I'm a senior, so I'm sure they're on a budget. Here's the auto ship, okay? Is this going to be for you or somebody else as well? A lot of these customers that call in on hard offer calls, they're reorder customers, or they've tried things in the past. So it's just like baseball. If you're a pitcher and you see, you know, somebody up there that knows what you're going to throw, and you know, you just go ahead and throw it, they're going to knock it out of the park every time. If it's a soft offer call, the customer doesn't know what you're throwing. You can switch. You can throw as many pitches as you want. You can throw your best pitch. They have no clue what's coming. So it's easier to, instead of strike them out, I'll say help them out. If it's a veteran customer, they're going up to the plate knowing that you have an auto ship, knowing you have other products to sell. So those are harder, to me, they're harder than the soft offers, okay? So you got to switch it up. If you keep taking soft offers and all of a sudden you take a hard offer and you don't switch your pitch up, it's going to be frustrating for you. It really affects the clubs. And again, that's where you make most of your money on the phone call. So you have to switch it up a little bit, right? Sometimes I'll give them my name and representative number right out of the gate to make them feel like, oh wow, no one's ever done this before. So if this guy's different, maybe the product's different, maybe the company's different. You got to be a little bit different on these phone calls. You know, a lot of them, they just want the one bottle because they tried everything under the sun, nothing's working for them. So and you got to understand that. So, you know, rather than jumping into the main offer right away, talk to them for a minute. If they say that they just want the 1 month supply, say, hey, that's a, you know, great. That's a great decision. This is an amazing product. I'm glad you called today. So tell me, is this going to be for you or somebody else as well? You have to acknowledge their what they want, right? But at the same time, you're going to upsell, but you're not going to upsell right away, because some of these people and some of these hard offers, they don't even know the price. You know, you get those all the time when there's a 23-page ad and the price is on page 23, and all the way through the ad says call for your 2 free bottles. So, you know, not closing right away allows you to kind of feel them out and see, you know, if they think it's free or whatever the case. But when you agree with them when they say what they want, and you agree with them, that's going to have them let their guard down a little bit. As soon as they let their guard down, they will answer questions. Well, this is going to be for me and my wife. So if the customer says if it's for him and his wife, and he just wants 1 bottle, it doesn't really make any sense because we give you a 90-day trial. Why not get more? But you're going to use that information when you go to close, and they're probably going to say, yeah, we saw that, you know, promotion, but we can't afford it right now. We're seniors. We're just going to split the 1 bottle. So that information, they told you they're seniors, that's going to help you with the auto ship. Say, hey, you know, you get 1 bottle, you're splitting it. I'll make sure that you know the price never goes up on you with the auto ship, and this is going to also help you for the savings program. You know, you mentioned you're seniors. If they tell me they're on Social Security, that's great when they say that, because I say, well, you know, I get it. Everything goes up. Those checks stay the same, but everything goes up, like gas, groceries, utilities, and they say yes. They're agreeing with that right here. When I get to the club and say, hey, when we were talking earlier, you mentioned that you're, you know, a senior, gas, groceries. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some money back in your pocket. I'd like to send you a $20 cashback rebate. Right now, they're pumped. They're like, yes, this person's listening to me. They know we're on a budget. This guy acknowledging that we're on a budget, he'd be silly to offer something that's going to make us spend more money. So he's still trying to help us out. Okay. So the only other question I might ask here, again, this is going to be quick, is it helps with so many different things. Customer, is there something specific you want to help with? Well, yeah, my wife has really bad knee pain. If he says that, that's a lot for the joint pain cream, okay? So I have enough information right now where I'm going to close. I'm going to close hard, I'm going to close a little faster than I want on the soft offer, but I'm confidently moving through the phone call without just going through the motions. That's what happens a lot of times, and our club numbers suffer because, you know, veterans will just kind of go through the motions here on these hard offers rather than spending a couple more minutes, maybe 2 max, to get the need for these other things so that they can keep rapport at the end of the phone call. Because if you don't, it doesn't matter how great of a salesperson you are, if you don't have rapport before you go to pitch the club, you could offer them the winning numbers to the lottery and they're going to say no because they're not listening to you. It's just one more thing that you're trying to push on me. So the value of having justification and a need for these other products is priceless. Because if you don't, and they say, well, I don't need that, I don't want that, you have nothing to go back to. And they can easily say, I don't need that if you don't have a reason. But when you go into it by saying, hey, you mentioned that you're 85 when I was listening to you, you want to keep your immune system, especially nowadays, in tip-top shape. So what I'm going to do for you is this. They're not thinking you're trying to sell them, they're thinking you're trying to help them, and it's hard for someone to say no to someone that says, you know, you're doing it for them. If you're doing something for someone, it's hard for them to say no to you. You know, so they might still say no here, and they might still say no here, but at the end of the day, when you're about to pitch the club and make the most of your money off this phone call, they're not scratching their heads wondering why you're doing this. You're doing this because they mentioned a couple times that they couldn't afford the other services and products. All right? So hopefully you guys get some benefits out of this. This, again, is setting yourself up for success. Now, it's not going to go smoothly on every single phone call, but as time goes on, you know, you're definitely going to be able to tweak these things. And the best thing you can do to help you follow this process is to learn your products, learn the process. Really become a product expert, because there's going to be questions that come your way, like ingredients and how many do I take, and you know, is this safe to use, and you know, how is this different than the cream I'm already using? If you can't quickly answer those and confidently answer those questions, you've lost them. Okay, and we've all done that. I mean, I remember when I was new, someone asked me a question, I pitched it confidently, asked me a question, and they were interested. And they ask questions, they're interested in this third product that I offered them, and I didn't know the answer. So I had them, they were ready to try it, but because I couldn't answer the question, I lost out on that product. Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much. Again, this is setting yourself up for success. You can post this video on our dashboard. So if you have any questions, you can always email me too. Most of you know my email address. Keep up the great work, and we'll talk to you soon.